Coming up next, I'll share some wisdom from the legendary investor Warren Buffett, and I'm going to challenge you, and it'll help you in your own challenges. We'll take your calls, and it all starts right now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Studios in Nashville, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, where you can do it, and then, of course, how do you get there? The journey itself. There are 7 stages to meaningful work, and we will help you identify what stage you're in, what stage you need to get to, what you need to do to get out of that stage and move forward. The 7 stages are: get clear, then get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. Now, those last 2 stages, get the dream job and give yourself away, that really is, those are consecutive stages. You're in those stages at the same time. And that's what we talk about when we say working in your purpose, working for your purpose, working with meaning. Significance is the goal. Success will come along with the chase to making the greatest difference that you possibly can. That's what you were created to do. So we look at work as a worthy, glorious opportunity to make the world a better place. Simply put, somebody out there needs you to be the best version of you in your work. So we want to help you do that. 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful men on the planet, known as the Berkshire Hathaway CEO and billionaire, and really most people who have studied his life and that know him, this guy's basically an oracle when it comes to investing. So he's a very wise man. And so I saw this article from CNBC, and I wanted to share this with you because it's good sometimes to be reminded of some of the bedrock, foundational success principles of some of the great people in this world. So here we go. Going to give you these 6 pieces of wisdom from Warren Buffett. Number 1, marry the right person. I've been married to Stacey Coleman for 22, almost 23 years. I can tell you he's right. He once said in an interview with Bill Gates, you want to associate with people who are the kind of person you'd like to be. You'll move in their direction. And the most important person by far in that respect is your spouse. I can't overemphasize how important that is. He's absolutely right. Number 2, invest in yourself. He once said, by far the best investment you can make is in yourself. He's right. Growing yourself, loving yourself, what you say to yourself. The person that you will talk to the most is you. And so this idea of truly trying to become better each and every day, gradually, consistently growing, investing in yourself, huge. 3rd, associate yourself with high-grade people. Hello, I wrote a book called The Proximity Principle, which is all about this. When you get around the right people, in the right places, opportunities to grow, opportunities to learn, opportunities to do, knock on your door. He said one of the best things you could do in life is to surround yourself with people who are better than you are. That's absolutely true. You want to try to put yourself in rooms where you know you are on the low end of the totem pole. That's a good place. Is it uncomfortable? Sure. Is it intimidating? Sure. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, and the benefits are invaluable. Next, work for people you respect. Work for people you respect. Buffett said, try to work for whomever you admire most. It won't necessarily be the job that you have 10 years later, but you'll have the opportunity to pick up so much as you go along. I think he's right. If you can work for somebody early on in your career, or if you're career switching and you're in your 30s, to try to work with people or work for a leader that you really respect, unbelievable amounts of observational wisdom and knowledge. 5th, ignore the noise. I talked about this on the show the other day. We live in the noisiest time in the history of the world, not just because of COVID and politics and racial divide in our country, but because we're surrounded by every speaker you can imagine, right? Think of a speaker. If we turn the speaker on and we hear noise coming out of it, well, we've got social media, we've got 24/7 news, we've got websites. I mean, we are constantly surrounded by noise. It's just coming at us. Learn how to turn the noise off. Quiet. A place of rest. And rest is not necessarily taking a nap or a sabbatical. Sure, it can be. But what are the rhythms of rest in your day, in your week, in your month, in your quarter, in your year, where you have some time where there's no noise? I'm freaking Joe and Madison out, but I just did that on purpose. Everybody watching right now, even the folks out in the lobby, they're like, is he having a meltdown? Did his medication just run out? That's what you guys were thinking. That was, Nathan, what, 3-4 seconds of silence? And everybody started to get a little uncomfortable. I'm proving a point. That quiet right there makes everybody go, what? Actually, when I didn't talk for 3 or 4 seconds, I'm looking at the people in the lobby. They locked in even more on me. Nathan, Joe, and Madison, they're all back there behind the glass in the control room working, and they looked up. What's going on? And all I did was stop talking. Fascinating, isn't it? But that silence, and what it does for you, the audience, where you're like, what's going on with Ken? Did he forget what he was going to say? Is he melting down? What's going on? The reality is that when you do that for yourself and you don't have any noise and you're just truly in a place of true quiet, imagine what your head and heart can do as they begin to align. And you can just sit and think and reflect. Way too noisy. Finally, success is not measured by money. Buffett goes on to talk about love, the relationship impact. The incredible thing about love is that you can't get rid of it. If you try to give it away, you end up with twice as much. But if you try to hold on to it, it disappears. It's really true. We talk about this on the show every day. That what I'm trying to guide you to and cheer you on towards is truly what matters most in life. And it is the contribution to this world, knowing that you gave yourself away relationally and professionally. We're looking primarily here on this program at the professional side of things. But that's what this is all about, a life well lived. At the end of the race, you look back and you reminisce, not regret. And you reminisce because you were intentional in your relationships. You were intentional in your professional endeavors. And you know that you gave the best of yourself, the best that you could give. You kept getting better. Did you make mistakes? Yes. Did you make poor decisions? Yes. But did you give of your best? And that's what this whole journey is about. 844-747-2577. I'm going to try that quiet trick a few more times. Why did it make you so uncomfortable, Joe? Tell everybody. This is really good. I'm going to keep teaching on this. This is really great. It was such a fun thing. I've done that at live speaking events where I'm up, and 6,000 people in the arena, and I just stop. And I just look.
It's very unusual, sir.
It is unusual. But my point was made, was it not?
With a hammer.
There you go. And so it's okay. We got to learn to embrace the quiet. Oh, that's fun. I'm going to do that more often. 844-747-2577 is the number. Joe's still freaking out right now. How's your pulse rate back there, buddy? Is that okay?
Good. Yeah.
You thought the medication had not kicked in yet. You thought, oh boy, I'm going to have to hit the button here.
Surprise.
Yeah. All right. Good for you. All right, let's go to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Peter is there. Peter, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet, Peter. How can I help today?
Well, I got a bit of a toxic work environment currently, and I'm just not sure whether I should leave it. I've been trying to find something else and haven't been able to find anything, and it's really destroying my work-life balance at the moment.
Yeah, I get it. I think the answer is you probably should leave. But okay. Let me give you the sounding board that you called for. Have you addressed all of this toxicity, whatever it is, and I'm guessing it's multiple sources. Have you addressed it with your leader or leadership, and then what has been the response?
Yeah, I have, address it with my leader. I was recently given a quote unquote promotion, but associated with that promotion, I was transferred to another location. So that location is now an hour and a half away from where I currently live.
Okay.
And so it's added about 10 extra hours onto my week every week. So, and I'm in the retail sector. I'm in store management for a retailer, and I work about 50 hours a week plus with the drive. And I got 2 little kids and a wife in grad school, and it's destroying what we have going on at home.
Yeah, you're exhausted.
Yeah. Physically
and emotionally. Yeah.
I'm just not sure what my next step is to get. I eventually want to get to my sweet spot where I'm doing what I love, but I'm just not sure, how to take those steps to get there right now.
All right, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because that'll at least give you some juice in the interim, okay? And then I'll address what we need to do in the, in the now. So what is the dream? What take me 10, 15 years from now, you're just crushing it. What are you doing?
I really have a passion for history, and I have a passion for teaching history to people. And I have a passion for researching and helping people in that regard. So I think if I could find something in those fields that I would really be passionate about.
Yeah, tell me the difference. I understand the teaching history. Would that be on the university level, or are you okay with high school level?
I'm okay with high school level, or even historical interpretation, a tour guide, or helping people in that way.
Love that. Okay, so you've got some ideas there.
Right.
Okay, tell me about the research piece.
I love going to archives, or I live in Pennsylvania, so I'm close to Carlisle. I'm close to Gettysburg. I love going to those places and just researching and finding the human interest stories, or even the battle stories, and taking
so those are largely
it to life.
Okay, so those are largely in the same space.
Right.
Okay, so give me a couple of besides the tour guide, like a National Park Service at Gettysburg, where you're giving these tours and you've done your own homework and all this stuff. Give me another 1 or 2 positions that would be in that space.
Okay, like a researcher at a museum, or somebody who's able to do genealogical research for people. They come in and want to know about their ancestor, and I'm able to research that and give them the results of that research.
All right, great. So here's the good news, Peter. We've got 3 legitimate options here that are very clear. And I would tell you that I'm not 100% sure on this, but you love research, so you're the guy, right? But you really just have to research what are the qualifications. That's stage 2.
Okay.
I think you're clear on what you want to do. So I think you're ready to step from stage 1 to stage 2, and stage 2 is get qualified. So what do you need to learn? What's the knowledge? What's the certification? What's the training? What do they say is the qualifications for those 3 things? You understand what I'm saying? So we got National Park Service, the Ranger, whatever. What do you need to do to get qualified? You may not need to learn anything new in the sense of certainly not a college degree, I would not think, for any of those. I could be wrong, but that's why I want you to go do the homework on this.
Right.
But when you talk about working at historical landmarks and being on staff and doing research, again, I don't know if they're going to need a specific degree or not. I think a lot of it's enthusiasm and the enthusiasm for the work, and then the skill set. Just I'm organized. I'm a bloodhound on information. I go get it. So I think if you look at those 3 things, what does it take to get qualified? I don't think that's going to be that arduous of a qualification process.
Right.
Okay. So now we go, okay, I know what I need to learn. I know what I need to do experience-wise, and you may not need a bunch of that for all 3. I just don't think you will, but I could be wrong. Then it's what is it going to cost if there is some qualification or certification or training? What's it going to cost you financially? And then how long is that going to take? Those are your 4 questions. And it's a checklist. So the first one is the education question. What do you need to learn? The second question, if you're writing this down, second question is, what do I need to do? That's the experience question. Third question is, how much is it going to cost me? That's the economic question. Fourth question is, how long will that take me? That's the expectation question. So there's your list right there. And I could tell right now you've already gone, oh, this is a simple checklist. That's what you're thinking.
Right.
Go get those answers. You can gobble you can gobble up that list in an hour.
Right.
So therein lies your next step. So that's your homework. And once you have the answers to those 4 questions, you go, now I could put a plan together, yes or no?
Yes.
Of course you can.
Yep.
So then let's bring us back to the current situation. So as you're doing that, you're going to have a pretty clear picture, I think, in the next 24 to 48 hours. And by the way, in going through that process for all 3 of those jobs that you mentioned, I think it'll further help clarify which one, is there a combo job? You see what I'm saying? I think it'll just further clarify things for you. So that's really the stress in your call today is I know what I want to do. I just don't know how to get there. And I actually think you'll know how to get there pretty quickly. So then we go, okay, I've got a plan and I got a timeline. So now do I make the effort to get another job that's not an hour and a half away, that pays me what I'm making now to make my home life easier for the next 6 to 12 months or whatever time? I don't know what the timeline's going to be for you to get qualified and then get connected, which is stage 3. All right, that's the next. So you can pursue stage 2 and stage 3 at the same time, because while you're getting qualified, you're making connections. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, and so then it just depends on how long it's going to take. So could you bite the stick? Could you put up with this stuff another 6 months if you knew there was light at the end of the tunnel? Probably.
Right.
But it also may be worthwhile you taking another job and then leaving 6 months later. You will decide that. But I think your mindset, I think your attitude and your resilience, your grit will increase with more clarity that I can get there. Am I right?
You are right. Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's what you need right now, dude. So, you got this. Hang in there. I'm going to give you a copy of my best-selling book, The Proximity Principle. What format do you like? Ebook, audio, or the good old-fashioned hard copy?
I'm a researcher, so I like the good old-fashioned hard copy.
All right, buddy. Well, it's going to have an autograph in it. I hope that doesn't devalue it for you. But here's the deal. I wrote this book, Peter, specifically for people like you who already know what they want to do, but they just don't know how to get there. Okay?
Okay.
And the book is a deep dive for you. It's an easy read, but it's very practical. There'll be homework assignments after most of the chapters. Focus on the people you need to meet, the places you need to get in, okay? And if you read the book and do it, it's called The Proximity Principle because it says in order to do what Peter wants to do, he's got to be around people that are doing it and in places where it is happening. That's pretty straightforward stuff, but it's a game changer. So hang on the line. Madison's going to give you the book. The rest of you can get the book. If that's you and you're like, Ken, I know what I want to do, but I just can't quite figure out the path. Well, The Proximity Principle, the book, will help you reveal your own path. It'll help you uncover it. And you can get all 3 copies for one price of $25. Whether that's you can get an ebook version, audio book version, and hard copy version at my website, kencoleman.com. Can't get that deal anywhere else. #1 bestseller. A lot of people using it. It works. kencoleman.com. 3 formats, one price, $25. Go get it. All right, let's go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, not too far away from where Peter was. And Chris is joining us there. Chris, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet, Chris. How can I help?
So I've been working at my current job for about a year and a half. And for the past 8 months, me and my coworker have not had a manager. So we've been taking up a bunch of extra roles and extra responsibilities with no compensation increase. And I'm wondering if it's okay or allowable for me to ask for more compensation or to look for another job.
Well, what if they gave you the compensation? What if you went in there and you said, hey, listen, for 8 months, me and my coworker have basically been co-managing ourselves and others. And I feel like I've done a good job. I'd like to grow here. What do you think about a bump? And that's not how I'm going to tell you to ask for it. But let's say you did that and they said, sure. Would you be thinking about leaving, or would you still want to leave?
I've thought about leaving. I don't I can't tell you an amount of money that would make me happy in my current job as I was happy before when my managers left. Yeah.
Well, that's the intellectual conversation you have to have. Would I be happier with X amount of dollars more? Now, I don't think the answer is yes. Now, what if they said,
right.
But what if you stepped into that leadership position? Would you be happy?
I think I would. I mean, I've been looking, it's a great company, great benefits, great everything, financially stable. I would like to be there for, 30, 35 years. I'm 25 right now. But the way it's going, I don't think it's possible for me. I don't think it's practical. They've been looking for a replacement. I've given them 2 people that I know are very qualified to do the job and fill in the job, and they haven't taken it.
Have you raised your hand? Have you told them you'd like to step into the role? Say, hey, have you, because you're in a really unique situation. And I think you should try this. Okay? Because if you try this and it doesn't work, Chris, then I think it's the final sign for you that you need to leave. And that's why you called me. So yeah, I think it's close to time for you to check out. But what if you told them what you just told me? Hey, great company, great benefits. I like everything about the company. And I've tried to nominate a couple candidates. They didn't take it, or you didn't give it to them, whatever was going on there. And you know what? I've been essentially playing the role. And I was very, very happy here when I had a leader. I tried to help you guys get another leader. I know I'm a young guy, but you know what? I think I'd like to take a shot at it. I'd like to raise my hand. And if you don't think I'm a good candidate, that's fine. But I'd like to raise my hand and say, hey, I'd like to actually step into the role and grow my responsibility, grow my influence, and grow my income. I'd say that just like that, because they're going to go one of two ways,
Yeah, the only concern I have with that is there is somebody that is kind of on my level, but has more experience with the company, and she's sort of been doing a little bit more of the managerial stuff. So it would kind of be a leapfrog past her.
Well, wait a second. Is that your responsibility or the leader's responsibility that you would take this to?
Probably the leader's.
Not probably. It's their call. Why are you worried about leapfrogging her? What if they came to you today and said, hey, we want you to take the gig? Would you feel bad about it?
No, not at all.
So why are we feeling...
You're always right, Ken Coleman.
Well, no, I'm not. Actually, I'm not. I thank you for that nice word, but I'm not always right. Talk to my wife and kids. They'll and Joe and Madison. They'll all be happy to give you testimonials. But the point is that you are worrying about something that's not yours to worry about. Go in there and sit down and go, hey, I'd like to take a shot. I'd like to throw my hat in the ring. If they turn you down, it's time to go.
Right. And then caveat to that, I actually have an interview tomorrow.
Oh, good.
For another company.
Good for you.
Can I use that as leverage?
Only if they offer you something.
Right. Yeah. I would obviously wait
if
until
they offer. Yeah. If they offer you, well, I just want to clarify that, because sometimes people go, well, I'm interviewing for another job over here, and they go, great, why don't you stay over there? And you're like, oh, I don't have a deal yet. So yes, if you get if you get an offer that you're actually willing to consider, because the other thing is, I'm not a fan of bluffing with bad cards. You play poker? You know what I'm talking about, Chris?
Yeah, you got to bluff with good cards.
Decent cards. I want to know that I got a shot. So I'm not going to bluff holding 2-7. Okay, unsuited. If I'm going to bluff, then I got to feel like I got a chance of hitting something if somebody's got a better hand than me. So I'll bluff with a pair of 8s. I'll bluff with Jack 10 maybe if there's something on the board. If I've got it, you understand what I'm saying here. So don't go in there and leverage that without an actual offer that you would take, because they could offer you something you go, I'd never do that in a million years. Well, don't play those cards.
Absolutely. Because
then if they call you on it and go, well, fine, go take it. then you're stuck. So it has to be a legit offer that you would take. Yes, then you can say, look, here's the deal. I've got this opportunity. But I would like to be here, but I want to step into leadership. I want to be the guy to fill the spot. Are you open to that? And if you're not, that's okay. I've got another opportunity that I think gives me a ladder for growth. Yeah, say it like that. But only when you have that situation. 844-747-2577 is the number. 844-747-2577. Joe, you want me talking about the SMART conference? Is that right?
Please.
All right, so very excited about this. I love the Ramsey Solutions Smart Conference event. It's an all-day event that we normally do live in front of 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people. And but because of these times we live in, obviously that's not a viable option. So we've got our Smart Conference November 7th. We're going to do it here in Ramsey Solutions World Headquarters. We're going to live stream it out to you. It's November the 7th. And you're going to learn some great stuff from not just Dave, myself, Chris Hogan, also a couple of our good friends, Meg Meeker, Les Parrott, Christy Wright, Rachel Cruz, Anthony O'Neill, John Deloney, the whole Ramsey crew will be there. And you want to talk about one day where you get true life hacks in every area of your life. You will be smarter. That's why we call it the Smart Conference. It is a live stream event. And there still are spots available. DaveRamsey.com/events. DaveRamsey.com/events. We'll see you in a couple of Saturdays from now. Madison, I'm going to have the PR team have the TVs on all the channels before they leave on Friday afternoon.
Great idea.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to have to steal away from the green room when I'm not speaking to check on the games.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, I can't go a whole day without watching college football.
No.
So
the slate is a little weak, but you got some good late games.
Is the 7th week? Well, that's good because that'll make me feel better that I'm not missing as many great games.
Just Ohio State, Penn State at nighttime.
Yeah, I hate both of those teams.
Yeah,
so
same.
That's great. I love saying that. It's so fun, isn't it? It's okay, folks. I'm not about hate, but it's okay to hate your rival. Just don't hate the people that cheer for the rival. You see the difference? We don't want to be unkind to anybody who wears a different color. That's hard for Joe and his Alabama fans because y'all are just hateful people.
Easy.
Well, I'm just going to say. I'm kidding, folks. Roll Tide, roll. There you go. I threw it out there. You like that, Joe?
Thanks.
Right, let's get to the chat room. Mr. Borey says, I have severe anxiety each day before going to work. I worry I don't have what it takes to learn everything I need for the job. How do I overcome this fear of failing? Well, the best way to overcome the fear of failing is to run the scenarios out in your head. What does failing look like? So right now, your fear is going, you're going to fail, you're going to fail, you're going to fail. And you got all this anxiety. So sit down and run the scenarios out. If I fail at this, what happens? If I fail at this, what happens? Am I going to lose my job? Am I going to be homeless? Am I going to starve? Really play it all out. Worst case scenario. Because here's what I found, that fear is a liar. And so the best thing to do is own the fear. So what is it saying to you? What is fear saying to you? Now put it on the witness stand. Is it true or is it false? Sometimes the fears are warnings, but real like anxiety filled, gripping fear, there's a whole lot of lie behind it. So let's put it on the witness stand. What's true? What's false? Now that we know what's true, let's focus on what's true. Can you get trained? Can you learn? Can you actually do the job? And if you actually stop worrying about failing and focusing on winning, you might get a breakthrough. Let me give you an example. If I told all of you right now watching, over the next 60 seconds, whatever you do, don't think about pink elephants, okay? And I mean, you can think about anything in the world, but don't think about pink elephants. Is everybody with me? Okay, we're ready to start the clock. And in the next 60 seconds, don't think about pink elephants. Let me tell you what happens over the next 60 seconds. A lot of you are thinking about pink elephants. The very thing that I told you not to focus on, but because I said it over and you're going like, okay, whatever I do, don't think about pink elephants. And I'm like, oh, that stupid pink elephant. And I've shared this 100 times on the show, share it again. My son, my middle son loves sports. Both my boys, all three of my kids love sports. So anyway, he starting wide receiver 3 or 4 weeks ago. And he's like, Dad, I'm really worried. I'm really worried. What are you worried about? Dropping the ball. I said, don't think about dropping the ball. Because if you think about not dropping the ball, there's a good chance you're going to drop the ball. But your mindset needs to be, when the quarterback hits me with it, I'm going to make the catch. I got those super sticky gloves, which, by the way, Joe, Madison, I don't know if you have seen the football gloves these receivers wear. Pro, college, high school. I mean, you can go buy the everyday glove, receiver glove at your sporting goods store. I don't know how you drop a ball.
No, they're so sticky.
I could climb a wall with these things.
Like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. But anyway, I told my son, stop thinking about not dropping the ball and start thinking about catching the ball. And so that way you're not scared when the ball comes sizzling at you and you got a linebacker waiting to knock your head off. You're thinking about one thing, catching the ball. And so, Mr. Bordy, that's what you need to be thinking about, is what do I need to do this job well, and think about that. And that's all you think about. Abraham writes in, what's your opinion on working without time off due to concern if you drop in productivity, you maybe look to someone expendable in the near or long-term future? Wow. I'm not a fan of really long periods of you not taking time off. Now, again, this is in the chat room, so I don't know the details. If I was on the phone with you, I'd like to know a little bit more. I'd like to know, do you mean you're working 7 days a week? Or are you saying you work 5 days a week and you haven't taken a vacation in 8 months? I need to know more. And I think that's probably, if you were, I'd ask the question, Abraham, are you a dependable worker? If the answer is yes, I'd say, great. I think you're going to be okay. I'd say, are you good at what you do? And if you said yes, I go, great. I don't think you have to worry about anything. Yeah, are you a good person, likable person, loyal to your coworkers, your leader like you? If the answer is yes, I'd say you don't have anything to worry about. So I would focus on what you bring to the company and not focus on, oh gosh, if I take a little bit of time off, are they going to look at me and go, oh, they're replaceable? Because the answer is, if you are a yes to those other three things, you're not easily replaced. 844-747-2577 is the number. Okay. Just want to give you a nugget that I think is going to really encourage those of you that are in some challenges right now. You're struggling. You're in a real tough season. You feel like you're just crawling uphill. Could be in your relationships, family life. It could be work life. Maybe you're just struggling right now to get the right job. Maybe you've been laid off, furloughed, and you're really discouraged. And this is from my own experience. And this is the challenge. This challenge will help you overcome your challenges. I want you to get this. I know you're struggling. But for those of you that are struggling, listen to me. There's one thing I want to challenge you to do that I think will absolutely help you get through this and overcome it. And here it is. Help somebody else. Help somebody else who's struggling. I will tell you that in my life, when I've been going through some type of struggle, that when I have been able to invest in somebody else, serve somebody else, help somebody else, listen to somebody else, encourage somebody else, it has lifted me in my area of struggle and challenge. The human spirit is the most resilient, I don't know what you even call it, factor, thing on the planet. The human spirit, our souls are the most unique thing anywhere in the universe. When you think about it, when our heart beats for the last time and we slip away into eternity, we've all been to funerals, we see people laying there and you go, well, I know that's their body, but that ain't them. Their soul's gone. That's why the body looks different. Their face is the same face that it was hours ago before they took their last breath. What's different? Soul. The soul. That's why when we see people's eyes and we see their face, we are spirits. That's who we are. And so our spirit, our soul, our heart is so resilient that in our times of struggle, when we feel like, I don't have an answer here, I've been on my knees praying here, We don't have a breakthrough here. Man, this is really tough right now. This is something that's just really tough. Well, you can't sit and wallow in that all day long. That's not going to get you anywhere. And sometimes you don't even have the gumption. You don't even have the juice. You don't have what it takes to stay in that moment of the challenge, because life does go on. And so in the other facets of our life, so we're struggling here, but if we have multifaceted lives, and so in another facet of our life, we've got to give to somebody else. So the challenge that will help you overcome your challenge and your future challenges is that when you are in the midst of a challenge, focus a little bit on helping somebody else with their challenge. Focus on helping somebody else. Help them through their challenge. And I'm telling you, you know what it'll do for you? It'll give you that juice that you haven't been able to summon on your own. It'll give you that perspective that you've not been able to have. It'll give you the gratitude that maybe you didn't have your eyes on. It's amazing how when we as human beings who have it tough times going on, but somebody else has got it tougher, or just somebody else is going through something, and we go, I'm not struggling with that, but you are, and I can encourage you. I can equip you. And that changes everything. Everything. I know this from my own experience, and I hope that encourages you. So those of you that are going through a tough challenge, find somebody else today, tomorrow, tonight, the next day, who you know is going through a challenge that you're not dealing with, and you be there for them. Help them, and it will help you get through your own challenge. I promise. Trust me. My time is almost up. But before I let you go, I want you to know that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.